Hello, parents. Welcome to the Masterful Parenting Podcast. I'm Ann Alvarez, parent coach, school counselor, and mom of two. Do you struggle with your relationship with your kids because you carry childhood pain? Do you get triggered by your child's behavior, become irrational, and maybe even yell at your children? Maybe you want to be a better parent, but you don't know how. Instead of repeating old patterns, you want to heal your pain, become more aware of your child's needs, feel connected to your kids, and learn the tools to communicate better so you can truly enjoy your parenting. If you are ready to heal your childhood pain, raise healthy, connected, and happy kids, and end the cycle of parenting with pain, then join me. Our kids deserve it, and we can do this. Let's go. Hello, parents. Welcome to the Masterful Parenting Podcast. I'm so excited because we have a returning guest. Her name is Jo Whitton, and she is the mom to a preteen and stepmom to teenagers, parent coach, and the founder of the UK-based Invisible Thread. Welcome, Jo.
Hi,
Thanks for
Anne.
coming back.
Yeah, back for part two.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so last time we talked about bullying or hyper controlling behavior, right? And then part two, I thought maybe we can just talk about how do we as parents empower our children when they are faced with behavior or hyper controlling behavior from someone else.
Mm. Yeah, so when they're on the receiving end of the types of behavior we talked about in part one, right?
Yes, exactly.
Ah, and I can talk from quite a lot of personal experience as well as experience supporting other parents with this. So yeah, if I get emotional, you know why.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it is such a tough one for parents because it can be so triggering to see our children hurting, right?
Yes.
And we get all the thoughts around they shouldn't suffer and we don't want them to be facing this and they shouldn't have to. And those thoughts can kind of make us react more and kind of activate our nervous system and trigger us a little bit. So I mean, I'm saying that because one, I empathize if you are going through this situation. I understand completely. And two, I think the first point is really about how you support yourself so that you're not coming from a place of overreacting to what they're going through, so that you're meeting your child's upset with a more of a calm approach. Because the overreacting won't won't help things simmer down. It won't necessarily help them to feel the feelings that they need to feel about the situation that they're in. In fact, it might keep them in more of a heightened state and their nervous system's more activated and tip them over into behaviors that you might not, that you'd rather not see. So working on staying calm ourselves and then meeting your child where they're at with whatever feelings they're having and helping them to express them. So I think it's kind of like keeping ourselves calm, not really saying a great deal when they're bringing this to us initially, but letting them have their feelings, whether that's that they need a good cry about it or that they might have some anger that they want to express.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
okay.
So really, like we have to really monitor ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right, coming.
okay,
Sorry, dog duty.
it's okay. We have to really monitor ourselves, um, that we're not overreacting, that we're in a calm place, and that we're giving the message that we can handle whatever they say,
Absolutely,
right?
that's it.
It's
We
like
can
this is
handle it.
yeah,
And you,
parenting with strength, right? This is what I call parenting with strength. Always showing strength to our children. Um,
And I love that you say we really have to let them express what their experience was and the emotions that came with it, right? And not say anything during that time, just let them express. Okay,
Yeah. And
that's really great.
it is really testing to not go into fixing mode or judgment mode about the other child that's um, doing these behaviors, taking
Exactly,
part in these
exactly. So,
behaviors. It is really hard. And so I would say that you might need some support with that. And just
mhm.
to consider that, how are you supported during this while you go through this? I'm a big fan of listening partnerships, which gives you a chance to express your feelings. Um, I don't know if you use those, Anne, but yeah, trying
I,
to.
I, I say we all need to vent and we all need to express.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to express to other parents or to close friends uh, to help us process what we're feeling, right? And also just to let it out, but not to our children. Because when we're in front of our children, we really want to show our children we can handle it. Everything's going to be okay, right? So I say yes. I'm totally with you on the partnership part, and I have over the years leaned into my friends with my parenting challenges, right? And then go back calmly to talk to our children, right? Because then we've let it out. We've taken out all the fear, all the emotion, because we feel fear too, right? Like we feel,
Absolutely.
especially if our child is being hurt, our natural instinct is to protect them. So we feel the fear, and we need to let it out to another adult, right? Not to our children.
No, not to our children, and not to go through all the possible solutions with our children either. It's less is
Yes,
more. It's a situation
yes,
where less is more, isn't it? And I
absolutely.
try and partner up parents with listening partnerships because they're a great way of expressing everything and not having anybody try and fix it for you, just having somebody listen.
I love that. I love that so much. All right,
Mm.
so
Okay.
um, so we're calm. We've listened to our child explain a situation, a bullying situation that happened. Um, and we've let our children express the emotions that came with that experience. Okay, now what do we do?
Um, oh, that's the question, isn't it? Is what to talk about first. I want to make sure that we do fit into this a little bit of conversation around how we can guide our children to respond to this kind of behavior, and that will ideally need to be alongside support from like a school counselor such as yourself in your situation. um, Certainly wanting school to be supportive of empowering them to respond in the right way, as in
Yes,
an effective way.
yes.
So let's come on to that, and then I'd like to touch on what we can do at base camp at home to really deepen that connection between us as parents and our child that's going through this, because
Mhm.
that will help them in so many ways. That will really help shield them from the wounding that they're going through, but it will also mean that they'll be less interested in or less likely to care about um, the other child and their connection with the other child and their relationship with that other child, and more likely to care about their relationship with us.
Yes.
So yeah.
Um, it's so funny because I yesterday when I was at work, I had a situation with my 13-year-old student who has received some hyper controlling behavior, some bullying, right? Um, and it's affected her because she skipped a couple classes. And so mom came in yesterday, and I just modeled to mom a conversation that you have with your child, right? And it was about like, I really believe in empowering our children to not care about what other people think or say about us when we don't even like them, when we don't even they're nothing to us in our lives, right? we give our power away. We give our power to the person that's doing the hurting. And then I also explain to kids that it's not about you. Somebody that hurts is
Love that.
hurting. Somebody that hurts is hurting. They have experienced hurt, and this is their way of feeling like in control, right?
Yeah.
So if we can reframe
And
it
it's
in our
that
children's minds, right? We have to reframe it in their minds that it's
we do. We
that
have to work on that, and we want everybody in their village of support to be
yes,
consistent in that messaging, right? That this is,
absolutely.
I tell you a secret about this situation. It's not about you at all. It could be about anybody. It could be about this stick. It could be
Yes.
about that tree. This person is just hurting.
And the other thing I say to my students is, you like, why do you feel bad? Did you do something wrong? Did you call someone a name? Did you hurt somebody? No, you didn't. So you know what? You don't need to feel bad. The person doing the wrong should feel bad, right? And that's kind of
But of
like
course,
again, reframing in your mind. Hold on a second. Why am I feeling bad? I didn't do anything, right?
and so what we want to try and do is help them to respond to the behavior in a way that also gives the message of like, I don't really care,
Yes.
because then that's going to like help put out the fire rather than fuel it.
Yes.
So I love the terms. If a child's facing teasing, for example, the classic four eyes is a good one, right? Because they'll
Yes.
find anything, won't they? Your dimples, your teeth, you
Doesn't
name
matter.
it.
Hmm.
If they're in need of displaying these kinds of behaviors, they'll find something.
Yes.
So yeah, if a child's facing that sort of teasing behavior, for them to what we want is to empower them to be able to respond with a kind of, you can say that, I can't stop you, and it removes the oxygen from the fire.
100%.
And it doesn't instantly, and I think it's good to set up a child's expectations that they probably have to have that response consistently, give the same response for maybe a week. If it's happening every day, same sort of response, you can say that. Yeah, I can't stop you.
Or,
Yeah.
or
So what? Yeah. Just
you don't
really neutral.
flatten it down. And also you can walk away and not respond as well. Because
Yeah.
you don't have to give power to that negativity, right? You don't have to give any energy to it. So, but I do love that. I do love that kind of like neutral response, it doesn't matter, or I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
move on. Let's move on,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Because even with the walking away, they may chase. They may see that as a bit of a chase situation where I'm going to get to you.
Yeah.
So it can just neutralize it. And I know that the behaviors will differ, but that's a great response for teasing. I think if rumors are being spread, which is a common one when you're dealing with teenagers,
Yes.
taking the response, if somebody comes up to you and says, do you know that the rumor is that you're doing so and so with so and so, or you did so and so with so and so, and the child can just respond with, do you believe it? And that person will say yes or no, and you go, okay, you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Okay. And so when we're working with our children as parents, okay, like help me here with the base camp. What kind of environment? What do we need in our home to give them the messaging and to empower them that they can handle this situation? Because you know what? We rush to rescue as parents, but really what we need to do is empower them to handle these situations. Because I told this mom yesterday, we cannot be with our kids all the time. And so we are helping them to manage through these kinds of situations.
Yeah, absolutely. And God, I mean, the most empowering thing for them is to be able to handle it and then see that they did it. So our having a consistent response from us of you did it, that's amazing, you did it, constantly until it, passed, that challenge has passed, and bless them, they might face another one further down the line. But that's really a really powerful thing, is to remind them you did that. That's what builds the resilience and the confidence
Yes,
for when they
that's
face
so
the
good.
next challenge. I mean, I would always spend a few sessions with a client looking at how things are going at home and how the relationships are between parents and child,
Yes.
in order to try and deepen the connection and deepen that attachment, because that's what will also shield the child from wounding.
100%, because they need to feel safe with their parents, and that they can come to their parents with anything, and their parents are not going to flip out or cry hysterically or get really emotionally charged. Because when we do that as parents, and I know this just from talking to teenagers for decades, right? When we do that as parents, our kids see us as we can't handle it. They see us as, I don't want to upset mom. I don't want
Yeah.
to upset dad. And then they don't want to come to us to talk about what's really going on with them. So we have to really, I call it like this temperature gauge, right? Know where your temperature is. Like, are you overreactive? Are you too hot? Or are you gonna like run away? Are you too cold? Are you gonna withdraw? Like, know what your temperature gauge is. If when you're in a position where you feel strength as a parent, then you know that you can be calm and help your child problem solve. I'm a big believer in problem solving with our children, and asking them, what do you think would help? Because I just feel that it
Absolutely.
empowers them and teaches
Yeah,
them.
it really does. It really does. And that's how we learn how to solve problems, right? But I would say that to problem solve with your child, that child does need to be um, in the right place in terms of their nervous system. So I would definitely, in those sessions as I work with parents, I would definitely look at how the child's temperament is at the moment, and whether maybe, well, definitely looking at whether their cup might be full, so
Yes.
how full their cup is.
Yes. Yeah, and we can't problem solve when our brain is in an emotional state, right? So sometimes like you said, parents rush to problem solving, but we have to regulate that system, right? We need to be regulated, to think logically, to be able to move through the
Access
problem.
that part of the brain. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
we
So
do.
that's why it's so important as parents to sit with our children and let them just, I say, unleash your emotions, like let them express their emotions fully. And then when they're calm, then some problem solving can happen, right? But not till then.
Yeah, and it, as I've said, I will keep saying this because I do empathise and I have been there. I do understand it can be hard to sit with a child whilst they're displaying so much sadness or so much anger. It can be really hard to not want to fix it,
Yes.
but helping them to express the feelings is what will help them adapt, become more resilient, and be able to face it and be able to feel empowered to neutralize it and move on from it.
Yes. Yes. I think when we are quiet and we're just listening, we give the message that your feelings matter and you can express them safely with us, as your parents. I think that's so good. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this has been my experience in my counseling, is sometimes parents get really vengeful and they just want, they want a punishment for the hyper
Yeah,
controlling behavior.
that can happen. Yeah.
That's their focus. And I just want to say, parents, like our focus, our power is with our own children.
That's where your focus needs to go. Take that drive, that emotion that's happening, right? It's there to get you into action, but focus it in the base camp, not on the child that's struggling with hyper-controlling behaviors, because that's not your job, is it? That's not going to make a change in that other family. That's for that family to sort out.
Exactly. Our power is with our kids.
Yeah.
Our own children.
So reach out, get some support so that you can really look at what else you can do at base camp to support your child. And they will get through it quicker because of that. And they will come out of it stronger because of that. So
100%.
Yeah.
I do want to say though, parents, as a school counselor, like, yes, bring it to the school if it's happening at school.
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. Because we will work with the bully, the hyper controlling behavior child, and we will work with your child who's being bullied. We will work with them both to help them, to teach them, to monitor, right? That everyone feels safe in the school. And if we don't know what's happening, we cannot address it. And our jobs I mean, as a school counselor and teachers in the school, our job really are to help our students feel safe. And they don't feel safe if they're being bullied. So as parents, you have every right to go to the school, and you should, because the school can help.
And in my role, I have done some work with schools and with parents with the school. You know, we've taken a kind of multi person approach, and that's where the most success lies. So I totally agree with you. Yes. You want everybody on board, and there's more that the school can do to empower your child as well. And they can, for example, there's strategies they can put in place, like a buddy system for all the children.
Yes.
I mean, there's lots of really, really effective things that can be done. So don't lose hope. Just reach out for support.
Absolutely, 100%. I love that. I love that so much. Because we want to empower our kids. We want them to feel good at home and at school. And we don't want the problem to get worse. So we do have to address it, quite well, because I get very upset when I hear that students have been bullied for years. That really upsets me, because then I feel like the adults in their lives have failed them. And we can't fail them. We have to address.
You can only do what you can do when you know what you know. And
yes.
This is why we're doing this, right? To get that information out there and share it as much.
Yes. It's always good to address it right away, so it doesn't progress, doesn't get worse, and affect our child's thinking about themselves. Because when it goes on too long, it starts to affect their self-esteem, right? So we have to be careful of that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, my dog started barking in the background.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. All right, parents. So, okay, I'm just going to do a recap of Jo's tips. Okay, so first of all, I know it's hard. Jo said it's hard. She works with parents on this, but we have to be calm, even though it upsets us, because it is upsetting when our children are upset. But we have to be calm and let our children express their feelings and their emotions. And we just listen and talk less and just listen. And then once our child is calm, and then we can address it and give them empowering messages, and also ways to handle what's happening at school or wherever it's happening, so that we empower them. And then we also need to create that base camp safety at home. And we need to involve the school if it's happening at school, so that they can address it as well. So is that good? Is that good, Jo? Did I forget anything?
No, that's great. I mean, that's great. There's so much that we could talk about. I would absolutely just add, get as much support as you can, so that you can really work on deepening that attachment and connection. There's some,
Uh,
we haven't got time
Absolutely.
now, have we? But there's some really simple little shifts, stuff you'll be doing already, but just, increasing things that you're doing already that are working well, and just
Yes.
doing them a bit more consistently can make a huge, huge difference for your child.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Joe, I am going to put all of your links with the podcast notes, but do you want to just let parents know where how to get in contact with you?
Sure. Well, my website, go to my website, which is Invisible Thread PC. So it stands for Visible Thread Parent Coaching.com. And
Excellent.
everything's on there that you'll need.
That's
I
so
would like
good.
to mention, Anne, that I
Yes.
am running a group parent coaching program with my partner organisation, Great Parenting Simplified. And we're offering free support sessions at the moment, parent support sessions, for anyone that might be interested in getting some support or joining the group program. So I will also put that link to the show notes.
Oh, excellent. That's so great. That'd be really great for parents. Well, thank you so much, Joe, for coming for part 2. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all your expertise. And yes, thank you so much. And parents, thank you. You know, I love you, and we're here for you. Reach out if you need support, and stay tuned for the next episode. Take care, everybody.
If this podcast inspired, blessed, or changed you in any way, I would love for you to share this with your family and friends on your Instagram page and tag me at Masterful Parenting. And join my Masterful Parenting Facebook page or DM me for more parenting support. And I will meet you here real soon. Remember, be relational with your kids and you will see a change. Love to all you parents out there. Let's change the world one parent at a time. If this podcast inspired, blessed, or changed you in any way, I would love for you to share this with your family and friends on your Instagram page and tag me at Masterful Parenting. And join my Masterful Parenting Facebook page or DM me for more parenting support. And I will meet you here real soon. Remember, be relational with your kids and you will see a change. Love to all you parents out there. Let's change the world one parent at a time.